What's up, fellow lords of gaming, and welcome back to another episode of Marvel Future Revolution. Before we jump in, hey guys, do me a favor, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and by the way, hit that notification bell if you're really interested in supporting the channel and being notified when we've got new content coming out. So let's jump right in. Basically, we've got information that we're going to get a Chilling with Danny Koo session, the last one of the year. We're going to get that Chilling with Danny Koo session on 12/14 at 5 p.m. I'm not so sure I'm going to be able to bring you guys a instant live reaction to this, but I promise you I will give you my reaction to the Chilling with Danny Koo session. Just probably not going to be right away. I'm going to be in travel during that week, so it's going to be hard for me to get to my setup and do all that stuff in time. But we're going to get that session. The one good thing is that from this slide right here, we basically got some confirmation here that Spider-Man is going to probably have some kind of update inside this December update. Basically, I'm going to imagine that we're getting Marvel Mall, Spider-Man costume updates. We know we're getting the Epic Invasion for the Sinister Six. That was kind of confirmed for us in Dev Note. So that's really good. And then we're probably going to get hit with some information for Chilling with Danny Koo for his magic thing. Now, the thing that I find is I'm hoping to God that the live stream isn't a fluff session. We've had a few Chilling with Danny Koo sessions, and at best they've been fluff sessions. They seem rudderless and directionless is what I basically mean by saying that. Now, what I would love to see is that they address some of the things that we're going into the new year with, specifically through a roadmap. It's really important that this game has a roadmap, because right now, if we were to look at Magic, for instance, we're talking about 6 months basically from the soft launch of this game to now before we got a new character. It'd be nice to know what the schedule of characters is. It takes players in this game some time to prep for new characters, and without the ability to prep for those characters basically come in soft in terms of being able to use them and have them be competitive. So having time to build up resources for the use of those characters, to get them through content and stuff like that is really important, especially if you release a character in the way that they're going to do with Magic, where transmutation of costumes and Omega cards is not going to be available. Without that being available, even your whales are going to be hindered from playing this character at top levels. And the worst part about it is as this is the last update most likely for the year, we're not really expecting to be able to actually use that character at that highest potential for at least another 15 days from the launch of the update, because you got to imagine most people are going to be celebrating the holiday season, and we're probably not going to get any updates over the Christmas break. I just don't imagine that. So the potential is that probably a week or two after the new year is when we'll probably most likely get an update where the transmutation is there. Now, what this does allow is a time for Netmarble to update the Marvel Mall and to fleece the whales. That's essentially what it's going to do, because the normal player is not going to be able to build up a complete Magic. A whale's not even going to be able to build up a complete Magic either. But they're going to release this character. I almost guarantee you she's going to be OP as fuck, and there's going to be a bunch of whales that are looking at trying to level this character up as quick as possible. They're going to dip inside the Marvel Mall and be like, hey, you know what, I've got these resources, these costumes that I can just pull on. I almost guarantee you that's going to happen. And I'm pretty sure Netmarble is hedging their bets on that as well. So the good thing for us free-to-play players is that they're going to give the character slot free. I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing, to be honest with you. That's something that just happens in most fucking MMOs. Like if you play Black Desert Online, as long as you've been a loyal player, been playing, they kind of give away the new slot every time a new character is released anyways. They don't try to fleece you to 400 crystals for it, so it is what it is. So one of the things I would love to see come out of this live stream is that we get some kind of roadmap. It's really important to understand as players whether or not we're waiting 3 to 6 months for new characters to be released, which of those characters are being released, so that way we kind of build some excitement in that regards. I think that's the least of the things we deserve, especially like maybe even some content roadmap, because being perfectly honest, there's not a whole lot of content in this game. There's a lot of reused resources in this game, meaning like especially like your story content is reused over inside Blitz, Spec Ops, and inside the raids. So it'd be nice to see a content roadmap being being released. It'd be nice to see a roadmap for character release schedule for the new year. Maybe if we're, so that way we at least know maybe we're getting 1, 2, 3, 4 characters in a year or something like that. That way we can, you know, do this. I think they're afraid to release a roadmap for the characters because you might turn off some players. Some players might just say, I really don't care anymore about the game because I don't see my character on the roadmap, and that's my anticipation for that. Now I want to finish out the video by talking about the video game awards that basically happened last night. I am going to give you a reaction to some of the award recipients, winners and stuff like that, but in this video let's talk about it real quick. Genshin Impact, yeah, Genshin Impact won Game of the Year over Marvel Future Revolution. Legitimately it won. It, like, I mean, 100% Genshin Impact, you know, was like, hey, I'm your daddy, and the game won Game of the Year. And you know what, it's not really hard for me to understand why it won Game of the Year. If you look at the game in a whole, Genshin Impact basically, you know, it appeals to a different player base, right? It's not the, it doesn't have the Marvel IP behind it, but what it does have is excellent. It is an excellent MMORPG that's on the mobile, and not to mention that it's available for crossplay and cross save across PS5, PS4, Google Play, and Windows. And then it's also available on the App Store. I find it hard to believe that anybody hasn't heard about this game, hasn't seen this game, or hasn't even attempted maybe even just to play it a little bit. Maybe it's not your thing, you know what I mean? There's a lot of lolly characters inside there anyway, so maybe it's just not your thing. But it is there. It won Game of the Year. I don't understand how, like, I can't understand in truth, like I really can't, how Marvel Future Revolution beat out Genshin Impact for, you know, iPad Game of the Year. Now, I haven't played Genshin Impact to those depths, but I have friends who definitely play it religiously, and they seem to enjoy it very much. But that doesn't say much about the game, you know, other than that. But it'll be interesting to see. Like, I mean, that game is growing leaps and bounds, and it's basically growing beyond an MMO, mobile MMO. So that's great to see. I hope that Netmarble can do something like that with Marvel Future Revolution in the future, where maybe this game grows beyond an MMO, but it doesn't seem like the foundation's there at all. I mean, they're still dealing with camera issues, so it'll be interesting to see that. Like I said, my main hope for this going into the new year, guys, is that we don't end up with a fluff piece. We don't end up with any delays in any of the stuff that they basically said in the dev note that they were delivering, and that I hope they fixed transmutation before this. I'm like, that should have been one of your main priorities with releasing the character, but it is what it is. I'm going to suggest to you guys the Marvel Mall. Stay the fuck out of it. Stay away, guys. Play something else. Don't pay for this content. Like, legitimately, I can't tell you what to do with your pockets, but I think this would be the best way for you to address Marvel going into the New Year's, and tell Netmarble and tell them what you think and what you feel and what you want. And it ain't being fleeced. All right, guys, until next time, hit that like, hit that subscribe button, and as always, hit that notification button so that way you can get updated on any new content that I'm dropping later on in the future. All right, guys, peace.